Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm gonna rewatch this video over and over and over again.
You remove the blocks that have been standing in the way, and that could totally be the reason you're not manifesting, because you've been blocking all of it. And then you start working with your energy and it all rushes to you. Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
Wow.
What used to take you an hour or 2 hours or a full day or a week to get over is dissipated in seconds. I promise you, you will live in the space of miracles.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another video, or if you're brand new, welcome. My name's Lucie, and on this channel, I share all kinds of things about personal development, spirituality, and how to become the best version of you. I have a very special guest returning to my channel today. We've got the beautiful Rhi Smith, all the way from Rhode Island, USA. Hey, Rhi, how are you today?
Hello, I am absolutely amazing. How are you?
So well, thank you. Some of you may remember Rhi's previous appearance on this channel. I will put that other video up here where Rhi came and gave me a very beautiful tarot reading. We're not going to be doing tarot today. Today's topic is one that we know is useful and important to a lot of people out there. And Rhi is also an expert in working with energy, in using energy for healing. And what I'm really excited about today is that Rhi is actually going to be showing us how anyone with a little bit of guidance and with a little bit of practice can use our energy for good and to heal and to increase our ability to manifest using the law of attraction. Because as you guys know, it's all about the energy, right? So, Rhi, where do we begin? Maybe you could tell us a little bit about how you got into working with energy.
I started working with energy because I was going through a super dark time. And honestly, I just bought myself a gift of chakra meditation CD back in the day for my birthday. And I just noticed that my life changed completely. Things just started to shift in a very natural, organic way. I wasn't forcing anything. Every day while my youngest son was napping, I would just put on this CD and work with my energy centers and my aura and all of this stuff, like from my physical health all the way to my relationships, my friendships, even my job. Everything shifted. And I knew it was the meditations because I could actually feel it in my body. And anyone who works closely with the chakras and the energy body knows that it's actually a visceral feeling in your body. You can feel the energy moving. My life was being healed, and I didn't really understand how powerful and how deep this work can go at the time. It changed everything in my life. So I was like, I have to just bring this to the world. And ever since then, really, it's been an absolute obsession. It takes up all of my energy and time. I'm in love with it. So
wow, that's amazing. So people can come to you for healing and that kind of thing?
Yeah, they can come to me for healing, and that's wonderful. It's a good place to start, but I love it when people can learn to work with energy and heal themselves. And actually, I want to make a distinction, and this certainly isn't meant to put anybody down who is interested in healing at all. But one of the things that is an important shift to make actually is to move from wanting to heal to wanting to be whole and to bring in as much light and be as radiant as possible. Because as you know better than most, whatever you focus on, you grow, you attract more of that into your life. So if you're always focusing on healing and fixing and changing things, right, you'll bring more stuff to heal. And it's an endless rabbit hole. It's a big shift that makes a huge difference from like, I've got to fix this thing, to realizing you're already whole, and you can just bring in light. And I want to help people to get to a place in their life where they're living that. It's not just something they do once a week or even set aside an hour, but where they know how to work with energy in their daily lives as they're going about, you know, doing the dishes or driving on their way to work, just to constantly be aware that your thoughts, your feelings, the way that you see the world is rearranging the universe around you all the time. It never stops. You can't, you know, rest from it. It's a constant ongoing process. So it really has to become who you are. Like you talk about being your highest self. That to me is being your highest self, when you're in alignment in your energy body, in your thoughts, your feelings. And I teach people how to do that, basically.
What's that analogy where they talk about, you know, you can either give someone a fish or teach them how to fish, and then they'll never go hungry. And I love that that's kind of like what you're doing. Instead of just, you know, here you go, I'll give you a healing session. Instead, it's more like, here's how you can incorporate this into your daily life continuously. I mean, that is really the gift that keeps on giving.
Any part that I can play to lift up the whole world just a little bit. And I feel like that is done through individuals and helping them to feel empowered to do this themselves. My ultimate goal is for them not to need me at all. And I know that new people will come in, you know, there's no lack. You know that. No lack. I will always be provided for. And the more that I can give selflessly in this way and shine my gifts, the more people will come to me, and then they can give and shine their gifts, and it uplifts everybody.
Can you show us right here, right now?
Okay, so my favorite thing in the world to do is the simplest thing in the world. Literally takes 2 minutes. It's simply a smile. If you close your eyes for a second, it's a little bit more than a smile, because we're going to be getting into a second of meditation, a minute. Just see your aura, your energy field around you. Just perceive it. What's the shape of it? What does it look like? Just notice if there are any tears, if there are any imperfections, any blocks. That's very common. And then notice what happens when you just beam a smile at it. Just smile at your aura. Notice if it's shifted, if it's changed color or shape. Notice if the imperfections are smaller or different. And you can open your eyes when you're ready.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super small, super short. And the great thing about this is if you are...
Wow.
Yeah, if you're... Isn't that crazy how much it shifts? Actually, I'd love to know what happened for you.
Yeah, okay. And comment below, guys, what your experience was as well. So my experience was when you first asked me to picture my aura, without you prompting anything else about how it looks, just the first thing I saw was a sphere around me. It was golden color, and it was sort of marbled, like if you were to blow a bubble, you know, you get like the marbled rainbow kind of shapes on it. But it was almost like, then when you mentioned about like, are there any tears in it? I realized, yeah, there's like, it was almost like gold strands and threads and a lot of like gappy bits as well. Mm-hmm. And I felt when you said that, I kind of understood it as like, yeah, we're here, but it's not solid, you know? And then when you asked us to do the smile part and the beam your smile at it, I just pictured the whole thing, you know, all the gaps were filled instantly. And wow. You know, the skeptical part of your mind obviously goes like, was that just in my imagination? But the fact that I pictured it without you prompting how it was meant to look, and it just happened that way, to me felt very real. And then when we opened our eyes afterwards, yeah, whoa, I feel different. I feel lighter. I feel more solid and grounded, more protected.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You just shifted your energy in a second. And those are the kinds of things. Yeah, really, to me, if you're going to sit and meditate for even 4 hours a day, but then you go into your life and you are not able to bring that into your life, it's completely wasted time.
Oh, yeah.
The purpose of the energy work is to live your best life. So being able to smile at your aura is awesome. And you mentioned it could be in your imagination. It is in your imagination. Yeah. And it's also real. That's why
it doesn't make it any less real, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's, what you think about, you bring about. So you just shifted your whole energy field. And the cool thing is, it doesn't just stop with you. If you're interacting with someone, you can smile at their aura. You can smile at the aura of the whole planet. You can smile at your day and just send out a totally different vibration just with a smile. So that would be something that I would suggest people do at night, right before you go to bed, because that's when the subconscious mind is most active and that's when the body repairs itself. So if you clear your energy field, then your body doesn't have to worry about all of that gunk. It can really get to perfecting your actual physical health and kind of doing all the things that it does at night to restore you. So yeah, it's a great practice to do. Just 10 seconds.
And you can do that anywhere.
Yep, totally anywhere. That is something that I do just even when I'm driving, I'll smile at wherever I'm going, the destination. So that's an awesome one. A couple of other things that I love to do, and I used to do it every day with my live stream people on YouTube. I don't go live as much anymore, but is the universal email. Sending out your intention to the world and asking for whatever it is that you want, but kind of like sending a message with your energy. So we can actually close our eyes again. I'm gonna have you close and open your eyes a lot. Okay, so center in your body. And then that same energy field, just expand it out to include the whole planet. And now you can state your name, what it is that you want to create or bring to the world, or whatever your intention is. And then ask for all the right resources, all the right people, all the right wisdom to come to you. And then just breathe that into you. On your inhales, literally just pull it in to your body. And that is it. That's it. It's that quick. It doesn't need to be any more than that, because you want to be able to do this in real time. You want to be able to like sneak off to the bathroom and say, no, I'll be right back, and be able to do these techniques. So that's the universal email. And that's a great one if you're trying to create something and you want people to know, but it also works if you're trying to find a partner. It's an awesome one to do. I probably wouldn't extend it to the whole world, because you might not necessarily want someone on the other side of the world, maybe just your city, and just extend your energy out and say, I'm looking for a soulmate. And actually that brings me to another point about the healing and just sending out energy. When we ask for something specific, I think that's great. I think it's awesome to get specific. And I'm sure you've mentioned this on your videos. I think it's also a great idea to ask for something even better. So what I have my students do all the time is state their intention. We actually talk as if we already have whatever it is that we're wanting. And then I say, okay, now ask for something even better. Ask to be surprised, ask to be amazed, ask for miracles and blessings, and then just open up to that and just receive it. And I have been blown away by just the things that come into their lives, just watching the miracles unfold. And it doesn't always look like what we think it will look like.
Oh.
Sometimes it actually looks like it's something not so great at first. And then later on, we realize that was actually perfect. Yeah. So another one I have for you. Do you mind if we keep going, or do you want to share anything?
Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm gonna rewatch this video over and over and over again. It's so good. And anytime that I want it, because I feel like it's nice to have you guiding me through it, at least while I'm becoming familiar with these practices. And then maybe after doing it with you in this guided way a few times, then I'll be able to whip them out of my toolkit, you know?
Yeah, it's a toolkit, and it's like a muscle. At first, you might not feel anything. You might feel like you're faking it, or you might not remember exactly how to do it. It doesn't even matter if you get the technique right. It's the energy behind the technique. So another one that is really super, super useful, if something comes in and you feel negative around something, you get triggered or something tough happens in your life, instead of trying to distract yourself or reach for a higher feeling, get into a better state, it's a great time to just pause. Just give yourself a couple of minutes and actually physically bring your hands to your heart and just breathe in that space. We don't spend enough time with our hearts. Our hearts are where the wisdom is, really. So yeah, exactly. Just really get in tune with that space and slow down your breathing. And whatever it is that you're feeling, invite it into your heart. If it's anger, for example, you could say, anger, welcome. Come in. I see you. I feel you. I'm going to give you all the space and time you need. I'm just going to be with you for as long as you need. And if you have anything for me to know, I'm listening. And that's really it. And the amazing thing about that is mind-blowing, is what used to take you an hour or 2 hours or a full day or a week to get over is dissipated in seconds. And the reason why, and I swear that it's true, I mean, at most, maybe it'll take you 5 minutes to kind of move on to the next emotion and start moving upwards. When you experience something negative, a lot of times you close off and you trap it in your body and it can't go anywhere. And now it becomes stress, or it can become disease in your body or in your life, in the form of, like, you know, you're broke all the time, or you attract the same guy, whatever it is, it's a block. And when you open up, you give it space. You're opening the windows of the house and the doors of the house, and it can come, but it can also go. So honoring those feelings, taking the time to listen to them, and actually opening up your whole body, almost as if you're like embracing someone, lets it pass, and it will just leave your body as quick as it comes in. It doesn't want to stay. It wants to give you the message and then leave. And I've had so many people in my workshops and in my membership site just cry, just start bawling their eyes out, and then it's done. And it never needs to come up again. Like, it might feel kind of icky in the moment, but then it's gone. So that's a really useful tool instead of trying to escape or watch Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. So just to clarify, so you welcomed it into the heart center. And then what was the next part?
We want to welcome it in. And when we say, I'll give you as much time as you need, feelings are transient, so it's not going to stay. It's just going to pass. So don't have anxiety about it staying for even an hour. It won't. But once you welcome it in, you want to give it space to be seen and heard. So I will usually say, I see you, I acknowledge you, and I'm here to listen if you have anything to say, because that's really what our emotions want from us, all of them. None of them are bad. They're just messengers. And we don't want to stay stuck there. We don't want to tell a story around it, but we want to feel it and get the message. It may be telling us something that's super useful for us to know. And because we're not listening, it keeps coming up because it loves us and wants to see us move on to a better life. It's our way of loving ourselves, is giving us the messages of our emotions, and even negative thoughts and feeling. Like, that's all part of guidance.
So I love that when you're talking about emotions, you're almost talking, I'm kind of picturing them as these like imaginary friends or these little helpers that are like giving us a signal as to whether we're going in the right direction, or whether something needs to be fixed or healed. Or Abraham Hicks talks about, if you feel any kind of negative emotion, it's an indicator that you're not in alignment with your inner being. Because if you were feeling peace, joy, love, happiness, gratitude, that is how we are meant to feel when we're connected to our source or to our inner being. Is that kind of the same?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So we are spirit. We're pure spirit at our core, and spirit is always blissful and peaceful and absolutely loving and 100% authentic. That's all that spirit is, and it moves through us all the time. And when these negative emotions come up, that's all they are, is guidance. They're not something to be escaped from or fixed or changed, and trying to do so actually makes them worse because they need to be heard. So just taking a second to listen, it's miraculous, the difference. Yeah, totally.
That's really powerful, because I know that a lot of, when it comes to the law of attraction or manifestation, or a lot of just spiritual conversation is often about, the power of positive thinking, and maybe the fact that if you're feeling negative emotions, it's adding resistance or slowing your manifestation down. And while that may be true, the last thing we want is for people, and I've done this before, to then feel bad about feeling bad, or to feel guilty for feeling guilty, and you're doubling up on the emotion because you're thinking, law of attraction police, it's illegal for me to think a bad thought. I have to be thinking a good thought all the time if I want to manifest what I want to manifest. So I love that this conversation is more about being able to actually feel grateful and thankful that if there is an emotional indicator, it's showing us something, and we can listen to it, like you were saying, process it, acknowledge it, let it go, rather than feeling like, oh God, I'm feeling this way and I shouldn't be feeling this way. Then it's just doubling down.
Exactly. We talk about wanting guides to guide us all the time. People talk about spirit guides. That is your spirit guide. When you're feeling that, I don't really like this, that's such good guidance. And what I really feel, and I might get myself in trouble right now, I feel that high vibe is not necessarily the positive emotions. It's authenticity. And then the big key is, do not get attached to the negative feelings through your stories. It's the stories that keep you stuck. Feel it, let it pass, and then move on and start a new story. It's when you start telling yourself it's his fault and that should not have happened. That's a big one. That shouldn't have happened. Then you keep feeling the same feeling over and over again because you're in victim mode.
That's powerful. And actually, I love to study the behaviors of people I know or people I've met, where I can see that they are exceptionally successful. And I don't just mean in terms of money. It might be that they are really abundant in a lot of ways in their life, or that they seem to just be living such a good quality life, or they are wildly, hugely successful and seem to just be able to walk through it all with ease. And they strike me as being good at allowing anything that might be negative, not holding on to it, allowing it to go, getting over it, which can often be used in a different context, but being able to process it rather than just suppress it and let it go. And yeah, like I'm a couple of people are coming to mind who I look up to. They're mentors of mine, not only in business, but their energy is just incredible. And they strike me at being the type of people who wouldn't be, well, if they were holding on to the stories that they were living a few years ago, they wouldn't be where they are today.
Totally, 100%. And I love that there are people in this world, powerful people, which we all have the potential to be. I'm sure you absolutely agree with that. They don't stay in those old stories. They make up an empowering story. It's all about for them. Really? From my observation, yeah. And for me, when I'm empowered, I'm making it work for me. I'm resourceful. And I really don't think that comes from being sort of pouring sugar on poop and calling it ice cream. It doesn't come from that. It comes from, yeah, like that's not the truth. Getting to the truth like this sucks, but you know what? I'm stronger than this. I'm bigger than this problem, and I'm going to turn this around, and it's going to be better than ever. That's power. Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Amazing. So I have a couple more. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be, I just have so much that I love to share with people, to just make these little shifts. And I think it can make a really big difference. It's made a huge difference in my life. So the big one.
No need to apologize.
Yeah, I could go all day. So please just feel free to stop me when you're done.
Give us a couple more while we're here. This is great.
Okay, all right. So the big one that I absolutely love, that has changed everything, and I'm huge with my students. We start every meditation with this. We end every meditation with this. Heart coherence. I'm sure, have you heard of heart coherence before? No. Oh, okay. So heart coherence is super simple. Basically, your heart is incredibly powerful. It's a magnetic super center, and really attracts to you everything that you kind of put out with your mind. You put the intentions out with your mind, and you're very clear about what you want, and then the heart draws it back with your feelings and your emotions. That's why we get into the feeling state of having it already, because we want to draw that experience back to us. So heart coherence is a way of doing that all the time. Just of drawing not just the things that you are sure that you want, but even better things, and just living in that constant state of drawing in the best to you. So you don't have to put your hands on your heart, but while you're getting used to kind of feeling into this space, it's a good idea, because it can really help you to focus more on that center. And you don't even need to close your eyes. You can do this in real time wherever you're at. Just take a deep breath here. And pretend that you have a hole in the center of your chest, and that you can breathe through that. And just start to slow your breathing. And then bring up an elevated emotion. It can be love or bliss or gratitude. I personally love gratitude because that's such a receptive emotion. So just breathe slowly as if you're breathing through your heart, and feel gratitude. That's heart coherence. And what I like to do with my students is ask them to amplify that feeling. You can just say, I amplify this feeling of fill in the blank times 10,000 right now. And then feel it in every cell of your body. And let that settle in your cells. And if you stay in this space all day, I promise you you will live in the space of miracles. Like this is the most powerful one to me, living in the heart space and just continuously being thankful and always kind of returning to your heart, because life happens, we forget, and we're doing dishes or whatever, but to return to that is the important part.
Wow, thank you. And that aligns perfectly with what Grandmaster Akshar, who is a Himalayan yogi and a spiritual master I got to spend a month with in India. And when I interviewed him, and I asked him about how to manifest, and he said that it's difficult when you're complicated, and this needs to be clean and clear. When your heart is clean and clear, it can, he was doing this, connect and send and receive signals more easily. So when you were saying that just now, I was picturing this really becoming a whole lot more clean and clear. And there are times if I'm feeling very sort of stuck in my head, or as you say, you know, you might have a great morning routine, but then stuff happens in the day and your mind is preoccupied on your to-do list, and it can be all a bit up here. And sometimes I feel that this is not clean and clear. You know, it can feel quite tight, I'm very aware of how's my heart feeling today. And so this exercise sounds amazing. It was an instant way to clean and clear this area. Wow. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. And the other great thing for anyone who works with the chakras, this is the center of the 7 energy centers. So it aligns all of the chakras. When you come to the heart space, you're working on the whole energy body, just as a side. Yeah. Yeah. It's a miracle one. I love that one.
You mentioned that this is a bit addictive. I'm addicted to this already. Like, it feels so good.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And I feel like so often people get so caught up in trying to fix the world outside and trying to make things happen. And that is not at all what moves us forward, moves us into that best life and living as our highest self. It's really about being a mirror for the universe to reflect back to you. And the way to do that is to shift your energy, shifting your thoughts and feelings. And that is not something that happens by default. It's work and it's practice, but it's enjoyable work and practice. So yeah, that's what I share with the world. Yeah, it's a ton of fun.
I can imagine. I mean, it's practices that help you to instantly feel good. I mean, who wouldn't want to, you know?
Exactly. It's instant good feeling, and it's like miracle inducers. It really is. It clears the path for new life to come in. Yeah.
Well,
awesome.
Thank you so much, Rhi. I'm really excited to practice these. I'm going to, like, you know, it feels so right that I want to implement these practices into my daily routine. So I'm excited to keep in touch and let you know how I feel, or what miraculous things start to happen. And I feel like this was the perfect video to share on this channel, because everyone in this community is on a journey of personal development and looking to manifest the things that they want into their life. And we talk about things like different techniques like scripting or visualization. And some people get great results, other people are struggling. And I'm really glad that this video might help people who might be struggling to manifest, because it's not just about going through the motions of writing something down on a piece of paper. This is what it's really about. So
totally, yeah, shifting the energy. And when you're constantly shifting the energy and purifying your energy field, you remove the blocks that have been standing in the way. And that could totally be the reason you're not manifesting, because you've been blocking all of it. And then you start working with your energy and it all rushes to you. Yeah.
Woo!
Yes.
Wow. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Also, I will put in the description below Rhi's details. She has a YouTube channel, and you can get in touch with her if you have any more questions or want to tune into any of her lives that she does on her channel. Thank you so much again, Rhi. I always love speaking with you.
Thank you so much. You are a doll. You're everything that you show to the world. You're just brilliant. Yes. I adore your energy.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring my bell so that you never miss another video. Until next time, bye.